This is the Onyx Cinder, LEGO Star Wars set 75374. If you haven't seen it before, I'm not surprised because the show that it's in hasn't even been released yet. Hey there LEGO fam, I'm Justin and you're watching Good Life Bricks. Welcome back to the channel and thanks for joining me today. I'm excited about going through this set with you because it represents a show called Skeleton Crew that Star Wars is releasing on December 3rd of 2024 on Disney+. This particular set is the main ship, I believe, in that show, although I can't say for sure because we don't know a lot about it. There have been some trailers that have been released that show us some of the main characters and give us a little bit of a Goonies type of a feel, which I think would be pretty cool in the Star Wars universe. But this particular set is very compelling. I think it is well done, and I'm excited to go through it with you. There are a number of play features. It also makes a great display piece. So we'll get into it a little bit, but before we do, if you would please subscribe to the channel, I would really appreciate that. That'll make sure you get notified of any new release content. And if you like the video today, please hit the like button. That will ensure that YouTube gets my videos out to more Star Wars fans like you and I. So with that in mind, let's dig in. The Onyx Cinder is LEGO Star Wars set 75374. It's 1,325 pieces. It costs $140. It has 5 minifigures. All of them are unique because none of them have been released until this set. The set was released on August 1st of 2024. The show that it's featured in comes out December 3rd of 2024. And I think this is a really nice release. That hasn't always been the case. There have been times in the past when LEGO has been given information from Star Wars and has released a set and it hasn't worked out very well. I think this one is safe based on the previews of the show. So let's take a closer look at the ship and the minifigures and see what we think. This set is a LEGO Star Wars fan's dream set. The number of play features, the number of things that it can do, the kind of fun that you can have with it is really unparalleled as far as LEGO Star Wars sets go. Starting here with the cockpit, which opens up, and you've got a nice little space for a single minifig. And the placement of the cockpit is kind of unique. In fact, a lot of the parts of this ship are very unique. It has guns mostly on the right side, along with its radar dish. It does have a couple of these cannons that mounts that spin, and it does have one gun over here, but I always think it's unique that they have this placement of 2 of these over on the right side. There's a ramp here that gives you a view of the interior of the ship. Storage for flashlights. The main protagonists, it appears, in this show are children, and so they don't provide them with guns, which I think was a smart move. They have flashlights. Jude Law plays the character Jod, and that minifigure does come with guns. But you can see inside they have a fairly full interior for the ship. It is hard to access, especially if you have bigger hands, but they've got seats and a table. There is a good full interior to the ship. Around the backside there is a cargo loading ramp, and that gives you a view into the interior of the ship. The cargo pieces come out and can be a part of your play if that's something that you do. On the right side, there's also a ramp that opens up. Again, you're looking all the way through the ship at this point, but you can see some of the features available there. The ship also has a boarding ramp on the front, and you can gain access for the minifigures that way. Although getting them up in there through the front is difficult. One of the cooler play features, I think, is the engines move with the sliding of a lever. So they go from flying mode to vertical takeoff and landing mode, which I think is a great feature. And it's a very smooth action. It's not difficult. In fact, I'm able to easily do it with one hand. And I think that's just a really cool feature. The way that they set this up, the way that you have to build it, is a lot of fun. The internal connections to make that work are really cool, and I think it's a great feature. There's also this kind of door that opens, but it only opens about this high, and when you look inside, you see some of the internals. If you pull it up higher, it disconnects because it gets pushed up against this edge. But you can see some of the internal pieces that were used to make this mechanism work. So I'm not sure why they included that. It's not really a usable functioning area, but maybe it's just to give you access to some of that technic internal. I really don't know. I talked earlier about the number of guns that this ship has. It has the dual projectile shooters, 2 sets of those. It has these cannons here that are similar to what you'd see on other ships like the Millennium Falcon or the Ghost. It's got another dual projectile shooter over here. And then it has what appears to be guns that move. This one moves up and down. This one moves side to side on the front. Now, I'm not exactly sure. I mean, logically, that makes sense that that's what those are, but I guess we'll find out when the show releases. The ship was, again, 1,325 pieces, so it was a fun build. There was a lot to it, and it took a little bit of time, but it was a lot of fun to build. It is a very unique look to a Star Wars vessel, and I like that. I think, you know, as we add some uniqueness to some of the sets that we know, it makes building Lego more fun, and I got a kick out of building this set. And I think a lot of people will. If you're a fan of Lego, then I think you'll really enjoy this. So let's take a look at the minifigures. So as we look at the minifigures, starting with Fern. Now, the show hasn't come out yet, so it might be a little bit of a leap. The trailer that released recently shows Fern as maybe a little bit bossy, maybe a little bit of a leader type, although it doesn't focus a lot on her, but you hear her constantly telling others what to do. And she comes with a flashlight, and all of the kids in the set have the half legs, so the kids' legs. So it'll be interesting to see the role that she plays in the show. Next, we have Jod, and he is a little bit of a mystery. There's speculation that perhaps he's a Jedi or a Force user of some kind. This is the character that's played by Jude Law. So as you watch the trailer, which I encourage you to do, you'll see that he's the adult in the show. And he's the one who seems to be guiding the group after they get lost in space, after they find the Onyx Cinder. And they come across him somewhere in a bar or something like that, somewhere along the way. So again, it'll be interesting to see the role that he plays, and if the speculation about him having some Force abilities is true. Next, this character's name is KB, and we know very little about her. There's not a lot of focus on her in the trailer, so it'll be interesting to see the role that she plays as well. Again, she's one of the kids, and she's got kind of an eyepiece that goes over her face, but she has a dual face, and so on the other side, it shows that that's retracted. This is the look when the face is turned around, and you can see just the slightest peak of that eyepiece that comes over her eyes hidden behind her hair. So that's another interesting thing, and we'll have to see what that turns out to be. Next, we have Neil. Now, there has been some talk about him being an ortolan like Max Rebo, but apparently in recent weeks, the creators of the show have said that he is his own species, and we don't know anything more than that at this time. He gets a little more attention in the trailer, so it'll be interesting again to see the role that he plays, but he's got a cool, unique look. The minifigure is a compelling figure. I mean, this is a unique headpiece, a unique mold, and I love it when they do things like this. And look, on the top of his head, he even has a little bit of hair, so that's not something that we ever saw with Max Rebo. And they don't really look that much alike, so it'll be interesting to see as we learn more about him. Finally is Wim. Now, Wim is kind of the focus of the last trailer that came out, the official Skeleton Crew trailer. And he has a flashlight, but they also gave him a walkie-talkie. In the trailer, we also meet his parents. Not knowing much about the show, not knowing anything about the show, frankly, besides what I've seen in the trailers, you know, I can only speculate on the role that he might play, but he seems like he could be a main focal point of the show. Love the hairpiece that they gave him. I think it's fantastic. The jacket and the shirt and the pants all match what we see in the trailer, and that's true for every single one of these figures. So I think there's a really good communication that has occurred between Star Wars and Lego. So we might not see errors in the release of these sets like has happened in the past. Anyway, it's a very, very unique lineup of characters. I love the fact that this show is about kids, I think, that will attract a younger audience to the Star Wars fandom, which I think is great. And I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to the show. One of the reasons I did this review at the time that I did was because I wanted others to get excited about what could possibly be with the show Skeleton Crew. We've had some recent entries in the Star Wars universe that fans kind of tore apart, and I'd like to see there be some success because I want Star Wars to put out more content. And my hope is that with the release early of this Lego set and the release of the show December 3rd, that Star Wars has a hit on their hands. So that's the look at the Onyx Cinder and her crew, and I'm excited. Don't forget, December 3rd, 2024, Skeleton Crew on Disney+. So there you have it, Lego fans. This is the Onyx Cinder, and I'm excited to see what Star Wars does on Disney Plus with the Skeleton Crew starting December 3rd. It's a unique set. It was a ton of fun to build, and it's got a great lineup of minifigures. I hope this gave you a sense for what the set is about. I think this is a set that you should at least take a look at. Hopefully you're excited about the upcoming Star Wars show. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. If you would do me a favor, click the little circle, the subscribe button, subscribe to my channel, and if you enjoyed the review, hit the like button for me. I would appreciate that very much. So thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.